got some back bills from the sheriff's department, and that's the reason why well, apparently so, because the amount's a lot higher than normal.
We haven't had a bill in several months. That's
Okay.
correct.
It's from
All right.
October to January.
So it looks like we've gotten
Several, yeah.
3 to 4 months worth all simultaneously.
Bill in several months.
Okay.
And if you want to know the
I
breakdown,
actually made them aware of that last week, or a week before, so that's probably.
That's why they're asking that other question.
Maybe.
All right, just for council information, also, we will, at the next meeting, we will ask y'all to revisit the contract with the sheriff's department. They have discovered what appears to be a typographical error has occurred, and it only has, it does not actually show all of the, and I won't get into the specifics, but of when it is, you can ask me privately, but the when people working, especially at night shift, and as a result, it impacts the pay by around $1,000 a month. So we will need to come back and revisit and approve the new contract for that, because
is it for
what
like
we've
a
been
shift
getting-
differential?
it
Essentially?
is.
Exactly.
Mhm. So what we've been getting is,
Working 3 days a week.
so what we've been getting, though, is the correct amount, but what we've been billed for was the incorrect amount. So naturally, they figured out, wait a minute, especially when they figured they weren't sending us any bills, I guess they probably popped up. So
Okay.
expect that. We could have possibly done it tonight, but it was so late, I didn't want you guys to, I didn't want to add it on at the last second, so we'll just tell them next time. Hey, if they'll be excited about the 118,000 coming in, so.
And the monthly amount for that, if you want to know, was $29,673.62.
Okay, all right. So that is,
Total amount. That's
Yeah.
the correct amount for the contract we have in place.
okay, all right, good.
And Mr. Mayor, we might want to do an audit on credit cards to make sure we're closing any cards that are not current employees. Because we did pay a charge for someone that's no longer on staff.
Recently?
Yes, it's on this bill schedule.
Oh, now that might be where we had the card, but we,
Somebody
it's probably an
else had it.
authorized charge because we've given it to the treasurer.
I highly doubt that it's for $5.14.
Oh.
It's our general obligation, so I think we just need to close the card out.
Okay.
Yeah.
But will you please get with me after the
Yes.
meeting and make sure I want to see that? Because we've been going through those cards. We can now, the treasurer now has that online. Mr. Sanders is very familiar with it because I've been trying to get his card online. She can now open and close stuff immediately.
Okay.
So if you'll let me know what that is, we can set that up. I do know that we had, while we were waiting for another card to come in, we had used one of the other person's names, and that's why I wanted to see if that matched.
Also, Mr. Mayor, the charges that day we used John's card because mine didn't have any more on it, and then,
Are you wanting to offer that?
I will, yeah.
Okay, so-
Absolutely.
All right, next is so on the next one was what I call our general funding that the grants that we give to the fire stations that have been used to help them retain employees and do other things that they do down there in their own directed needs. They've agreed that they will work with us a lot more as far as for backfire dues, or not backfire dues, for current fire dues and all this other kind of jazz. We basically kind of streamlined this whole process by agreeing to give them a larger sum of money. The other thing is that it is a larger amount we budgeted this year than we normally would as a catch-up because we didn't do anything last year. So we budgeted $100,000 for each department. Then we have a little bit in the budget for the Glenwood folks.
Yeah,
too,
there's,
but
what, 12,000?
I was gonna ask about that.
I don't think it's that much.
I thought,
I'm on
well,
1,500.
Yeah, it's like 1,500
Yeah, maybe
or something. We gave
1,500.
them a pretty generous thing here in the last year or so. Maybe been last year where we helped them out with that turnout gear and stuff, so their
yeah.
numbers
Yeah, we may have
significantly
bumped that
lower.
one down. I can't remember off
So
the
we're
top of my head.
doing the 1,500 for them as part of the motion?
That was actually fixed to be my suggestion, was it? So your motion is going to be to release a certain portion of the 100,000?
For Centerpoint and Palmerdale, and I can add to that to include Glenwood to.
Let's find out what their budget amount was. I was just looking through the other thing there, and
Yeah.
it probably is in our,
So 50, 50 and 50 and.
Yeah, so
some
we're
Some number we're fixing to locate.
correct.
Yeah, we're halfway through the year and we haven't distributed any funds to the departments, so my suggestion is 50% to each
It's
department.
close to the end.
1,500. You
It
were
is,
right.
okay,
Yep.
perfect.
Okay, and we'll include Glenwood to get their $1,500
Right.
in that.
Those, I know they have a very small fraction of the city, but their mutual aid with Palmerdale
Yeah, they've been
is
working very well.
invaluable.
Yep.
So
Agreed.
any improvement they make is connected to us
Yes.
when there's a mutual aid scene, so.
Brad, did you want to offer that too, or does somebody else want to, or?
I can offer it if nobody
Okay,
else wants to.
Where is it?
We-
Did we find that money?
Brad's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
Just do him.
Yeah, 15.
All right, next is the high school assistance for public safety down there. Did we, Chris, did you disappear? Can you hear
What
us?
was the number on that?
That's what I was curious to see if we can find out the. I think he heard.
You said we can't?
He's
Oh,
out
okay.
for a second? Okay, well, I'll give a brief thing. Ask him and see if we know the amount of those two invoices
The
that the
precise
sheriff
amount.
sent to the high school, yeah. So, Mr. Turner reached out to Mr. Sherritt earlier, and then I went and we had a meeting along with Chris and Jeff Hall, the SRO officer up there, along with Mr. Turner. We had a meeting this week, and so basically what they have is they have a contract. The school board has a contract with the sheriff's department to provide a fixed rate for security at events. And so this is specifically with regard to football games, okay, is where the issue came into play. So they order a certain number of deputies to show up, a couple of deputies or something, 2 or 3, I think is what they normally have. The additional deputies that are up there, we have been covering, which is, it's just normally part of our stuff, and we've already paid for those guys. They have a tab, and so basically the bill came in to the school. There was 2 separate bills. One of them is they have a shared, what do we call it?
Shift commander.
Shift commander
something.
fee that is spread out among several schools because they're all having games on Friday night type thing. And then the other is the actual employees that are working on site. So, the amount is, yeah, I just saw him coming back in the door. Maybe looking. Chris, did we ever get the exact amount for those 2 invoices from Mr. Turner for his request? It was approximately $7,000, I know.
It was about 7,200, best I remember.
Okay, all right.
Total.
All right, so the question, he has asked whether or not the city might be able to assist with that $7,200, because basically the boosters fund would be completely depleted if they paid the entire amount. And last year they had to start with 0, and it was quite difficult. They would like to actually have a little bit going into the spring training and the beginning of the season this year. So he said any amount, any contribution that you guys might be willing to make toward the public safety thing would be greatly appreciated. I just wanted you to know what the upper boundary was. Y'all may want to do the full 72, you may want to do half, you might want to only do $1,000, I don't know. This was my take, is that we should not be having public safety decisions, especially the money part of that, based on the strength or issues within a booster club. So to me, this is not normal booster stuff. This is more a case of importance for the city to maintain safety during these ball games, so, which is the large gatherings going on. So that's just my own personal opinion about that. I did not feel like this was a luxury item as much as it was a necessity. Does anybody have any thoughts or?
I have no problem helping with public safety if they need it, and I'm good with.
We're pro law and order, is that what you're saying?
We are pro public safety.
Yes.
And that does go straight to the sheriff's office is the way we would pay it, probably,
Yes,
right?
yes.
I think so.
Whatever
I
the
think
will of
so.
council is for me, but
Chris, so to pay that bill, the bill itself is actually to the Board of Ed?
The Board of Education bills the school.
Okay, so how would, Mr. Sanders asked about how would we pay?
We would pay the board,
I would assume a check to the school, or to the
to
boosters.
the board. No, can't
Not
do
to the
boosters.
No.
can't do it to the boosters.
Probably the board or the school.
We can
board.
ask- The school has to write a check.
Okay.
So probably to the school.
So the sheriff has tabs for each
The sheriff-
school?
Yes, it's the
Okay.
Board of Education. Years ago, the school used to write deputies checks individually at the end of the night or the next few days after the ballgame. But when they started entering all the contracts with the Board of Education about the SROs and what have you, they stopped doing that, and the
Okay.
deputies have to turn in overtime. But it's built into the contract with the Board of Education. The board then bills the school at the end of the year, and the school writes a check for that.
So we could pay the Board of Ed then, I think is the
Oh,
answer
well,
to the
either
question.
one. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I mean,
That was where I was headed.
I mean,
We just had to be careful.
That's kind of a logistics thing that we could
Yeah,
call
that's
them
fine.
and ask them to
That's
check
fine.
it to be wrote to. I mean, either the school or the
Right.
board.
Yeah, but he's correct, it's not to the boosters group.
No,
That
no, we
was the
would go,
question.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, we can't cut corners there is my thought, so I'm in agreement.
You want to offer?
Sure,
Okay.
that's true of any school event.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so, did anybody, we can discuss it in the meeting too, but did anybody have any other questions about where it was coming from or what was going on, so?
I
okay.
understand.
Now, one
I
quick,
know they would definitely appreciate it.
I'll ask you offline about,
Okay.
the fire district money.
Okay.
That's internal
All
matter.
right, so, just as a general housekeeping scenario, again, I mentioned to y'all, you have also been given a couple of copies of our current salary ordinance. If we want to change the ordinance, we will need to do so by our second meeting of February. So we wanted to go ahead and, the clerk asked about this. I told her, yes, let's get a copy of these to you guys, let y'all be looking at them, and then we can bring it up for discussion and take a look at it. So again, this is the starting point because this is the current ordinance. It's not on tonight's agenda, obviously, but let you guys know and get some feedback. Oh, let's see here. I jumped down there a while ago. We do have an annexation. Do we have yes, it's on here. John, will you do that annexation there for us?
I will.
Okay.
Do we wanna do shred days quarterly again?
We got it set up at Marie, we're doing the shred things 3 times a year. Is that we found that to be about the right? Did you get the dates set? Okay, so.
Y'all can just pick day per quarter.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what we normally do.
Just tell me a
Oh,
day.
so, okay, so she's saying 4 times a year, and so, but you were telling me the other day 3 times, so.
We did it 3 times last year.
Remember, we did it late.
We did it late last year, so we
So
we
two-
could choose
So 4
4.
times.
Yeah, so 2023, we did 4. Last year, we didn't pick until like February, so we only did 3.
Okay.
But if we're gonna do quarterly, I'll look up the dates, and then we can
Will
get
you
those for
do,
the meeting.
will you do that, and then, I'll ask you to fill in those dates for us during the
Well, we
mayor
have to-
slash council
We have
ladies
to
report.
clear it with the company first,
Mm-hmm.
but I will at least have them for Marie so she can confirm it.
Okay.
But I don't think we should give
Yeah,
it to
we-
the public,
yeah,
because
we
if they're
can't
not
announce
available on
it
that
yet.
day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will not be giving the shred dates during the thing since we don't have an actual date there on the thing. But, well, I'll just mention the fact that we will be doing it, and,
Dates
so
to come.
what,
Dates to come. We'll do-
February will be the next one, you think?
Oh, please, let me find. I
Okay.
think so, but you next, hold on.
Okay.
I'm gonna give
Even
it to you.
into March, when the
Yeah,
weather is a little bit
When it
more
starts to
pleasant.
break
Yeah,
and
so
people
there's
start
loads of
cleaning
fun
out.
standing over
And
there.
the
now.
sunlight comes back out.
It's a little more pleasant after.
So when we ask them for the dates,
Mm-hmm.
they have to make sure they have them available. So y'all can do some tentative dates. I can make sure they're available and we'll get it set.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say March at the earliest, that's just me.
Okay, I'll just mention that that would be the next one, so people can go ahead and start on
Yeah, you can-
these chilly, winter days, and while they're doing their sorting at home, they'll know that they need to be ready by the
March,
time warm weather
June,
starts to come back.
September. or
September,
something, yeah. I
December.
think that's a good idea.
All right,
last month of the quarter.
all right. So, our offices will be
Bring back to
closed
the
next
24th.
Monday due to the, in light of the, no, well, no, the Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday is that day. And then Eric's going to assist us a little bit here by showing us a little bit of our website. And I'll discuss it a little bit more here about how to use our report of concern feature on our website, so.
We'll bring
We-
Mr. Ragsdale up.
Yes, and, Brad, if you wanna, take the lead a little bit here on that, I'm good with that too, so.
Yeah, Scott, if you want to come up to the podium there and make sure the mic's on. But a couple of years ago, Mr. Scott Ragsdale came to us and talked to us about a veterans park. And we kind of let that slip through the cracks. I think everybody up here was in favor of it, and Scott's had some time to think through it again, and he's sent us a presentation there. And Scott, I'm gonna let you take it from there and talk through it. But I'm excited about what he's bringing this time again. So
Good,
Go ahead,
thank you.
Scott.
Mayor Roberts, thank you for putting me on the docket and allowing us to be here, and council members, thank you for allowing me to be here also. Just to give you a little recap and kind of a backstory again, my name is Scott Ragsdale. I'm here with my wife, Amy. You know, we have been residents of Pinson our whole life. I'm a business owner here on Main Street. A little backstory, I have painted the Palmerdale Fire Department volunteer basis. We have raised about $6,000 for the Pinson Valley High School over the past 2 years. The community is mine. I just love it. But I'm a 16-year veteran, and there's nothing here that represents the veterans. There's nothing. And there's so many displays that in each city has their own type of recognition to the veterans. So for the backstory, a couple of years ago around this time I was here, and I had a presentation that I presented, which, like Mr. Brad said, it was just flying colors. There was no issues, there was no questions, there was some logistics in it, but basically everything was donated at that time. There was no funding needed at all from the city of Pinson, from everything from the asphalt to the concrete to the flags to the flag poles, and I had a company who was going to engrave a brick. So if Hoyt wanted to nominate me, you know, to get my name on a brick, this company would engrave the brick, and my name on this brick would essentially go into the ground. This is the design that was a couple of years ago. As I thought more, and so when I presented it, I was waiting. I didn't know the next step. I was waiting for the next step. However, the city handled the next step, and whether it fell through the cracks or whether it was lack of communication or there wasn't a direct point of contact, that just got kind of lost. And so here we are, you know, with your permission again, I'm back again with a newer, more fresher design. So what I want to do, just to refresh your memory, at the corner of where the Bicentennial Park goes in, if you'll see on your display, is this display the same? Okay, so if you see on your display, there's no more longer flags anymore. These 6 columns represent each branch of service and their 2 primary colors. You know, I walked through Trustfuls and I looked at theirs, and it's a magnificent park, but it will take work to maintain the engraving and things that go there. But this is really bold, and you know, I believe in my heart that the military, if you see any military service member standing in front of you, whatever uniform they're in, they're bold, they're crisp, and they're sharp, and they're erect. And so these are 8-foot concrete columns. If you look to the left of that, you will see a 3-foot white column. And in this redesign I had and working with someone, I just wanted to represent from the first part of the service all the way to the ending part. So the white column to the left, that'll be a 3-foot column that will have both the enlisted and the officer oath of enlistment. That's the first thing we do. When you raise your right hand, repeat after me, I, and you swear in, and that's what you do. And whatever branch of service that you go in is represented by 8-foot columns. And the American flag in the middle is on a 20-foot flagpole. To the right side of that, of those columns, you will see the well-known Arlington Cross that's in Arlington Cemetery that represents the ones who didn't make it home, and that represents the ones who actually made it home, but they passed. On that cross, there will always be a light shining. It just will. It just will, to pay tribute to those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. The columns will always be lit, and the American flag will be lit twice as much. In this park, there will be a small asphalt parkway, and I've got an overhead view on there. It's at the back of the presentation, but when you stand and look in the parking lot, it's not a parking lot, it's literally a parking strip like in front of the Civitan Park or here on the side. It's gonna represent, you know, we have to pay, you know, we have to be legal and do the ADA part of it. To the left side, you'll have a full purple parking lot to represent the people the soldiers and airmen who got the Purple Heart. To the right side of that, you'll be a completely different black parking spot that represents the POWs and the MIAs. With this park, it's a symbol of myself. It's a symbol of Mr. Walker. It's a symbol of every National Guard member, every person who's ever served. It's a strong statement. It will have white chains along the sidewalks. There'll be a T-form sidewalk. And so what I wanted to do was build this without any funding needed. Again, I lost a lot of my donations because of the lack of, let's go to the next step. I have reached out to Shay Shelnut. Shay Shelnut will be sending the city of Pinson at the end of March, 1st of April, $10,000. That will cover everything except the asphalt parking strip. So I would like, whatever the next step is, to get this going. It'll be in 5 stages. The first stage will be I will bring back schematic drawings to scale drawings for the area. That'll be phase 1. Phase 2, and that'll be done by April. Phase 2 will be On Memorial Day, I've been in contact with the band director. We're going to have a trumpet player and a person from the color guard hold the American colors while taps is played. I want to do just a small groundbreaking ceremony. That's phase 2. Phase 3 will be the construction phase. Phase 4 will be the landscaping, where the beautification comes into it, the painting, the flowers, and things of that nature. And the final phase, I want on Veterans Day, which is the most appropriate thing, to be the ribbon cutting ceremony. And so it's very doable in the time. I have the labor, I have the material, I have the money. If we do run short, I can get it. I just think I need that next step, whatever the city says, hey, we need to start this next step right now. Because I think that's where we lacked last time, and that's the reason why I'm back here today. So I think it's a great representation of every veteran, and it's called a Veteran Honors Park. It's not a memorial park. And that represents the one who are going to serve, the one who signed up, the one who's serving, the one who's coming home, and the ones who have served. So that's my presentation. So if there's any questions, I'll be more than glad to entertain them now. Email, cell phone. The one thing I do need is a direct point of contact. And I would like to ask the city for a direct point of contact, so that point of contact, I can work with them directly, and they can kind of be the eyes and ears for the city of Pinson during the whole process. So with that being said, whatever next step it is for the city of Pinson to say, let's get it started, I would ask that I can get that from you.
Did anyone have any questions for Mr. Ragsdale at this time?
I like the new design.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I like the flag idea before, but I just kept looking. I was like, how can it be so just? We got interstates coming, and that'll promote growth, and just something to come into our bicentennial park. I just thought those colors were really. Thank you. I just thought the colors were really. Here we are. This is what we do. This is who we're representing. So, thank you for that.
In the sake of time, I would think a motion of preliminary approval, and support would be in order, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. So we can put that, I'll put you down for that.
That'd be fine.
Okay.
Or Mr. Walker's the veteran, if you would.
Okay.
I'll be glad
Yeah.
to yield to his,
Okay.
I can do that.
I would,
Because what we'd want to do is get with you. I want
I'll
to
be
get
glad
with
to
the,
second, Brad.
our building construction folks here at the city, get with you here as far as for, because you were talking about you're going to do the plans next, and so we'd be
Yes.
looking at that. I want to make sure we're okay here about the coming out here on the highway as far as for bringing
Yeah,
the
well,
asphalt
I
so
was
far
gonna
up
give
and
you
all.
a tip about that.
Right, yeah,
That'll
and-
probably have to be adjusted.
And I had thought about that in the design about backing it off of highway, of Pinson Boulevard because of construction and roadway. I know there's an issue back there, but I wanted to put it back toward the part where that little creek comes through as far back as I could.
Okay.
So
And that's the
it's-
other thing we want to look at, the flood, because that is a
Yes, sir.
floodplain area and everything. Your design seems to be fine for water issue.
Oh, and.
Putting something up
if we-
on the highway is, then AlDOT gets involved and it gets to be a whole
Yes, sir.
big extra.
If we could stop at that slide, I did want to mention to that, on the 8-foot columns, I thought it was very interesting and very important to show every rank there was. So you'll see a slide on the monitor now. Each column is going to have all the enlisted ranks and all the officer ranks. And so,
Okay.
those signs are metal signs, and I've already got the donor who's going to print those out, and they're going to be 5.5 foot signs that'll fit right on the face of each one of those branch towers.
Okay, good.
That's good. That's a good idea.
Thank you.
We appreciate that, and during our meeting, you will see, if you remain, you'll be able to, we're going to bring this up and move it on to the
Okay.
the
All right.
next step. And plan on getting with me after the meeting, and
Yes,
we'll
sir.
get some coordination going.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Scott. So do we need to, so how do we word that motion? The
I would
motion
just
of,
say a motion to preliminary approval
Okay.
and support of the project. I think that would cover this stage till we get the
Veterans Honor
drawings.
Park, Yeah.
Yeah,
approval of the Veterans Honor Park.
Yeah,
would be good.
yeah, but the Veterans Honor Park, thank you, Glenda. And I'll be glad to second, and that will take it to the next step, I believe, if you agree, Mr. Mayor.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, I'm good with that.
Got it.
Let's see here, okay, I believe that's everything that y'all wanted on the agenda. Do we need does anyone need a break before we begin the meeting? If not, we'll go ahead and get started. I believe the only issue was about the invocation that we had. Are the individuals here for the parade winners?
I'm with Clemson Methodist.
Oh, y'all, okay.
Okay, I'll see you after.
Okay. So they're all here? Okay, great, great. All right, so with that, I will go ahead and call to order the meeting of the Pinson City Council for January 16th, 2025. Please stand for our invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. If you happen to have a cell phone or other electronic device, please silence it at this time. Father, we thank you again for this evening, and we just want to lift up the many veterans that have served over the years here in the community of Pinson. We thank you, Father, for the willingness of these individuals, but we ask that you would continue to protect those that are on active service at this time. We ask that you would bless this meeting, that you would give us insight and understanding about any discussion that may need to take place. We ask, as always, that you would protect our first responders and that and our kids that are up at our schools, and that you would always watch over them. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Madam Clerk, can we have the roll call, please?
Counselor Irvin.
Here.
Counselor Walker.
Here.
Counselor Sanders.
Here.
Counselor Churchwell.
Here.
Counselor Kirkland. Mayor Roberts.
Here. All right, I'm going to, let's see, move on next to the approval of the minutes from our January 2nd meeting. Ms. Kirkland?
Yes, I would like to offer a motion to approve and waive the reading of the minutes for January 2nd as written.
Is there a second?
Second.
That was quick. I'm going to let the clerk decide.
I got it.
All right, any feedback on those minutes before we move on? You're all good? All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Minutes are approved. All right, I'm going to go ahead and suspend the rules at this time. We're going to have a little presentation here regarding our Christmas parade floats. We had a very nice participation this year in our Christmas parade, and we had some winners, and we'd like to invite those winners. Let me restate the individuals. Let's see, I'm gonna come around front right quick.
So if y'all put this in front of you, this is cumulative, sorry.
Everyone doesn't get the 250 check, but this is the total amount here.
I'll have it.
So I'm going to call out the group. I want to make sure everybody gets recognized from the group. So the third place was the Girl Scout troop, and y'all's troop number is? Girl Scout group is over here on the end. That's what I had down there. I want to make sure that sounded like a zip code or something. Are you guys with 25007? All y'all are? Okay, well, great. Well, congratulations on winning that. I believe they get a, what size check? What do we say there, Eric, on that? It is not on the list, so that's okay. Y'all get a $50 check there for that. Okay, so we congratulations on that. So next was our second place winner, which was the Pinson Methodist Church. You guys are with the Pinson Methodist Church? Okay, great. Well, and congratulations for the second place. I know it was very competitive this year. And you guys get a $75 check there for that. And then the first place winner was the Johnson Elementary School. And they get the bigger check, and they get the $125 check there on that. So anyway, we didn't have 5 of these jumbo checks, three of these jumbo checks, so we got one and we just combined it all up there on that. So anyway, we want to get a little quick picture. And again, we appreciate you guys participating in the parade. Everybody really enjoyed it. And it was some really nice floats.
This lady said cheese.
Okay, which one are we looking at?
Just look
All of
straight
them.
ahead. Because the kids got it.
So, you may need to, where are the actual checks? Because these are hard to use.
We'll get you the checks, we'll get those, because our treasurer's out with the flu, so I'm sorry.
That's why we
about
didn't
that.
look.
Yes, sorry about that. We will, we'll deliver your checks to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So cute, you smile.
Yes, they do. Yes, I will. So we want to thank, before I go back to my, oh yes, and all award winners don't have to stay for the rest of the meeting, so that's,
That's reward in itself.
I do want to thank the Hand Arundel, who contributed nicely, and Clear Winds. No public dollars were used toward the prizes. We want to thank those 2 private groups for actually sponsoring the prizes this year, so thanks. Oh, yes, okay, yeah. All right, I'll reinstate the rules now. It's always fun. Those that didn't get to see the parade, they really were fun floats this year, so.
And it was a bit brisk that evening.
Yes, there's been suggestions for an enclosed warming station to marshal. Some years the parade is warm, some years
That's
it's
right.
not so warm. Next is our committee chair reports and finance, and Ms. Urban, I believe we've got some bills down there
Yes,
that have
I'd
backed
like
up.
to offer a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $159,256.55.
Excellent. Is there a second?
Second?
Motion and second. Was there anything on here that we needed to point out? I know we mentioned the sheriff's office being a little higher than normal.
Yes, that's the major thing. We paid for October through January.
Okay, so we had several months there where we had not received a bill from those guys, and so we need to do some catching up, so it's making it a little bit larger than normal. Hughes Printing has to do with our Park and Recreation Department, with some stuff with basketball and upcoming softball enrollment, so let you guys know. Any other questions about that? All right, I'll take that in the form of a motion then to approve. If someone would like to offer that, Ms. Urban, I believe.
I did.
She
I'd
She did
offer-
offer, did
and
we
he
get a
seconded.
second? Oh, okay, well, I'm just one step behind here on that. Okay, so all in favor of paying those bills, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And so we will pay the bills. All right, I may have to start adding motion and second check boxes onto my checklist over here. so. All right, next is an annexation. Mr. Churchwell, I believe we've got somebody who wants to come in and join us.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we got an ordinance here annexing certain territory into the corporate limits of the city of Pinson, Alabama. And it's whereas Lester L. Robinson, owners of the property described herein, have filed a petition with the city clerk of the city stating that they are the owners of the property and requesting that the property be annexed into the city of Pinson. And of course, this is that the property is in the city of Pinson and that is not into or to any other property around the city of Pinson. This address for the request is at 5370 Clay Palmerdale Road, Pinson, Alabama. And as I mentioned, it's owned by Mr. Lester L. Robinson, and I recommend this be annexed into the city.
Excellent. So is there a second?
Second?
Motion and a second there on that. I would like to clarify that, Mr. Churchwell, you were saying, it is not currently a part of Pinson or any other municipality. I think that's what we're not trying to annex any other city's property yet. Any other thoughts, comments, concerns on this particular piece? So, I will, Madam Clerk, do we need to,
Unanimous consent.
unanimous consent? Please do a roll call on that for me.
Counselor Irvin?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Sanders?
Yes.
Counselor Churchwell?
Yes.
Counselor Kirkland?
Yes.
Mayor Roberts?
Yes. I was thinking we were headed there. I think I know right where this piece of property is.
Yeah, right before you go around the curve.
That's what I thought, right.
Mr. Mayor, let me just make a statement on this. It's actually up in the Palmerdale area.
Correct.
And those folks like to be recognized every now and then. So
Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is in Palmerdale, and,
Clay Palmerdale Road, in
yes,
fact.
sure was. I know, Mr. Robinson worked with us years ago on the fire department. As a matter of fact, he had another piece of property there that, actually, he purchased, some property surplus that the, fire department had probably 20 years ago, so. Madam Clerk, let's have a roll call on the actual, annexation vote, please.
Counselor Irvin?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Sanders?
Yes.
Counselor Churchwell?
yes.
Counselor Kirkland?
Yes.
Mayor Roberts?
Yes. I would like to welcome them to Pinson, as well as the Palmerdale community within Pinson. So they're already there, but glad to have them on board. This passes unanimously as
Sorry.
ordinance number 2025-02. Yeah, I had it up to that, and then I changed looking at the map. Let's see here. Next is on our mayor's report. We are doing shred-a-thon days. We call it shred-a-thon, but basically where we have shredding machines. It's a company, outside company comes in professionally shreds. We're going to be offering that again during, well, I hope we will. Make sure council's all good with the shredding. During 2025, we'd like to offer 4 different dates. The first one we anticipate being sometime in March. So we will get the firm dates and start letting everybody know that, but we wanted to make sure council wanted to continue doing that first. This gives you a little bit of time during cold weather to be getting those old files and things together and be ready for when the warm weather, when you have to haul it on down here. So the next thing is that this coming Monday, the city facilities will be closed, as well as other state and federal offices in observance of the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. So if you come by to visit with one of our friendly staff, you will find them nowhere to be found. So just be aware of that. Next, I'm going to ask Mr. Winfrey, and I need to see, let me bring you the mic. You want to get it? Okay. Yes, yeah. If that's okay. So we've got a feature on our city website that allows us to report a concern. And we want to take an opportunity here to show folks how this works. Council might be able to share this with some other people. We want to let the folks back might be watching online, let them see it. He's going to actually demonstrate it here in just a second. We've had some questions have come up regarding issues where illegal dumping may be taking place, or other major issues that you might see, even minor issues that need to be brought to the attention of the city staff. We've got this great system on our website that allows you to go in and ask the correct, the system asks the correct questions. Hopefully the citizens can provide some of the answers, to direct our staff to it. It gets routed to the correct department regarding whatever the question might be. So anyway, we've got some nice follow-ups and things for this. This is the correct way to actually report a concern. We've had some issues where, folks try to just wave at one of our staff as they're going down the road and say, please check that, that couch that somebody left on the side of the road. I call those pop-up rest stops. Occasionally those appear in the city. I don't think we really want them, but they do appear. We want to let everybody know that just calling around here and somebody's personal cell phone or whatever like that, that's not the correct process. So we do want you to do that. If for some reason you can't use the system, then please contact City Hall. One of the folks here will help fill out the form for you there online so that it gets routed to our correct folks. So Eric's got his microphone back there. Well, I'll let him walk you through the process just so everybody can see it.
So everybody can see this online as well. So what I've done is pull up our webpage, and as you see on the face of the webpage,
Eric, will you zoom in? We're kind of blind. Please. I'm sorry.
So make sure you show us where we click on that front page, because that's usually half the battle.
Yes. Full screen.
of course, you would ask me to do something.
At the top, click the green little click the green button in the top left.
It doesn't, okay.
That's
There
a
we
little bit
go.
better. Yeah.
So,
there's
as you
the
see our
icon.
webpage, and on the face of the webpage, there's a lot of tabs. The first one to your left, report a concern. As you click on that concern, it opens up another page, which allows you to fill in your name, your first name, your last name, your email address, your phone number if you want to be contacted, but the name and the email address are required. The type of concern, roads and sidewalks, public safety, nuisance, overgrown grass, parks and greenways, other. We get all types of complaints or concerns that come in through here. They may be garbage pickup. They may be dumping on the side of the road. It could be a complaint about a house in a neighborhood that's overgrown. This has been in place for, 5+ years. So everybody look at our webpage every once in a while and you'll see these tabs. Now, we're going through a little bit of restructuring with our webpage because we've changed IT providers. So it's a little bit cumbersome for us, the staff, to navigate posts and pins and things like this and to add and subtract. So, but as you go through this, you put your name, as you saw me earlier, I was just putting in Mayor Roberts' name, and then
They say I complain a lot. I'm not.
some people do put a phone number there, and that's fine because there are people that want us to call them back. Now, this particular site, it sends to an email list, sends it to the mayor, to the operations director, myself, to the public safety director, to the zoning director, to admin, which there's probably about a list of about 8 that get to see admin shared email box. So it doesn't go unnoticed, and it's recorded. That can't, it's there forever. It's not going to be something we can delete and say, oh, Mr. Sanders did not report that to us. We didn't receive it. Hence, a text to a phone. Now, when Mayor Cochran came on board, the first thing that we tried to do was to try to streamline some of this, because if you text Mayor Roberts or you text Councilor Kirkland, well, those are second-hand, third-hand information, and they can get lost in the translation. And I have 2 phones. One's personal and one's work. If you send it to the wrong one, it goes away. So the idea is that more people in the city, the more people that are responsible for these actions, we can translate that to public works, to public safety, whatever the case may be. We've had public safety issues that came up on this same site that told us, hey, there's some nefarious activities that we're concerned about, you know, in our neighborhood. So some of these issues have started and worked out really well for us. So you enter the address, and it says location of concern. Some people don't want to put their name in there. That's fine. Put whatever name, but we got to have an email address, or it won't take it. Okay, it will not. You got to have an email address. You can get an email address, an anonymous email address, if you need be. And the description of the concern, you can also upload pictures. We have people that attach pictures all the time. So this is the proper way to submit a concern, no matter where it is. And a lot of concerns that people submit to us are not necessarily in the city limits of Pinson. They're not necessarily the responsibility of the city itself, but we try our best to handle those in a timely, efficient manner. We are limited staff. We have limited resources, limited funds to really apply to some of that. So, you know, understand. And, you know, they have lives too. So sometimes they're off. We're off for, you know, holidays. So things that, you know, come up. So please bear with us. We don't, if you file it this way, it doesn't go by the wayside. There's several people that see it, including, you know, it's, a mayor and council can see it. Mayor can see it easy. So that kind of helps hold the feet to the fire. So, anything else?
No, Eric, I appreciate that. Very thorough in explaining. No, that's it's very good there on that. And again, when you report that, it doesn't necessarily, like, let's say that you see items that have been piled up on private property that need to be addressed. There are certain legal things that our staff has to go through to get it. So unfortunately, it's not like those pop-up rest stops I was mentioning earlier, which the guys can usually jump on, you know, within a day or two.
I thought we were going to have to annex that last one.
Right.
Well, when they asked me if I wanted to get a sign put up, I knew we were in trouble. Be aware that, you know, all private property has these property rights are involved, so it may take us a little bit longer to address some of those. If they're big, you may even see them. You may even see them at a future council meeting being brought up. So again, thanks.
Could I
Eric.
add one
Sure.
word to that to reiterate and emphasize, when it comes in by email like it does, if it happens to be another jurisdiction, a very common one was and probably still is something being, for example, in the city of Clay. And in 3 seconds, that can be forwarded to someone else, and it can be addressed by forwarding to the appropriate jurisdiction. And that was, and I hope still is, very helpful to staff when it comes in that way.
It is,
A
and
few
like I say,
seconds, if it happens not to be something for Pinson.
and since many of our roads are under the control of the Jefferson County Department of Transportation, we're able to send that on over to those guys rather than our road crews out trying to fix it. So, excellent point. Let's see. Next, I believe we're going to move on to old business. Mr. Ragsdale came during the pre-council session, and Mr. Walker, I believe, has a motion regarding that presentation.
Yes, a couple of years ago, we had Mr. Scott Ragsdale come to us to present a proposal for Veterans Honors Park. We've let that kind of slide, and he's brought it back with some new and improved ideas, and I would like to make a motion of preliminary approval to move forward with the Veterans Honor Park and authorize the mayor to appoint a city point of contact.
Second.
Motion and a second. Anyone have any other thoughts on that? We saw a very nice presentation earlier. It's been a lot of effort there put in that, but obviously now it moves on to some more logistical phases. So, but this basically, this vote would express the desire of the council to move forward on this. We have a location that we've discussed, which is right on the corner, I believe, of the Pinson Boulevard and Bicentennial Way, right there on the corner. The city owns some property, so it's not a piece that could be used for commercial development due to its proximity to the floodplain, and it actually lies in the floodplain. So it would be excellent for basically a park type situation. So.
Yeah, it's excellent spot for it. A lot of traffic goes through every day, and you know, as the sole veteran here on the council, I'm excited about having this to honor the men and women that that volunteer and give their lives at times to protect us.
I think it's gonna be, it'll be noticeable, and that's what I like.
Yes.
'cause-
Very, very much so.
Mm-hmm. So it's not like you have to go hunt for it. And it'll get attention. People, a lot of people go, I do it myself, I do, when I go to a cities, I look for them because I have a lot of veterans in my family. I'm happy to, thank you for doing this.
So Mr. Ragsdale's been able to even secure private funding for the majority of the project, only just some access parking issues that the city may need to look at. But we appreciate not only your work on the design, but on the fundraising part of a project like this. So look forward to working with you on the implementation now. So all in favor of Mr. Walker's motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Certainly be none opposed to that. So that passes. So again, look forward to working with you on that. Next, we'll move on to new business. Mr. Sanders, I believe we've got something here on the tax
Yeah, let me
tax
check.
relief here.
Okay, that is, that's just numbered. Yeah, yearly, we often, I suppose regularly, since we've been a city, have participated in the tax-free holiday that covers school and emergency supplies. So I would like to offer ordinance 2025-1 that would place the city of Pinson in participating in the tax-free holiday.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Madam Clerk, given this is an ordinance, do we need to have the unanimous consent?
I don't think so, since it was out in due time. You might want to mention that this is for both tax holidays for the year.
Yes. Mr. Sanders, did you want to say about what are these tax holidays?
Let me see, July 18th, and where's the second one? Usually, February 23rd, February 21st through the 23rd.
Okay. So one of them is the emergency weather preparedness one where you can buy supplies for usually getting ready for the tornado season around here, and the other one is the back to school event there on that. So you believe we're okay with the?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's given that it's ordinance, I would like to call for a roll call vote.
Okay. Counselor Irvin?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Sanders?
Yes.
Counselor Churchwell?
Yes.
Counselor Kirkland?
Yes.
Mayor Roberts?
Yes. So that ordinance passes unanimously as ordinance number 2025-01. Next, Ms. Irvin, I believe we've got some, something about a new neighbor coming into town. They're asking us to do something. What was that?
Yes. I would like to offer a resolution concerning the City of Pinson's consent and approval of the issuance of an alcohol beverage license by the Alabama Alcohol Beverage Control Board to Aldi Inc.
Excellent. Is there a second?
Second?
Motion and second. So as everyone's aware, they had the alcohol license up when it was formerly the Winn-Dixie up there. So it's not really a new location, but it is a new entity. So as a result, we need to approve this beverage license consent. So that's the reason why that's back before us. We have very good news concerning the Aldi, which after we vote on this, I'll mention. But let's just say that this has come before the council in a very timely manner. So, Madam Clerk, can we have a roll call, or did anyone have anything to say before we? Okay, go ahead.
Counselor Irvin?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Sanders?
Yes.
Counselor Churchwell?
Yes.
Counselor Kirkland?
Yes.
Mayor Roberts?
Yes. So that passes as resolution number 25-02. So, we have some good news. The Aldi's opening date is finally rapidly upon us. Ms. Urban, what is that date again, I believe?
January 30th.
January the 30th. That's going to be a Thursday at 8:30 in the morning. Your folks can be set up there for the get some grocery shopping going in. Obviously, we're very excited about having all these come into town. I can tell you that if they had closed the Winn-Dixie and they were not opening the location back up, there would be a lot of long faces up here at this dais. So Ms. Irvin is a big fan of all these, and so she's very excited about being able to have one right here in our own community. So there has been a lot of talk about Aldi's over the last several months, and so they have done a really nice job inside the store. And it's only taking up a portion of the footprint of the old building, so there's going to be another tenant moving into the other side. Contrary to any rumors you've heard out there, there are no current tenants in place, but they are pursuing several possibilities. So we hope for more exciting news about that in the future. But again, I know the folks at Aldi's would love to have everyone show up starting there on the 30th of the month. Let's see here. Next, Mr. Walker, I believe you're up again. Got a few folks from the fire districts are here tonight. I don't know why they're all here.
Can't understand why. So yes, we have a request from Centerpoint Fire Department. They have a need for some computers in their vehicles, and those computers help them support and report activities on scene and get back in service as quickly as possible. They are ruggedized computers, and I believe that amount is, we do have designated funds for just such an occasion for each department, that we can specify what it's used for. And the amount is, I believe it was $29,760.
28.
$28,760, yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second there on that right there. Does anyone, I'm sure that Chief Dollar and Chief Horn might speak to it in a little bit, but unless there's questions up here, we'll wait and let them give their comments later. But if you have questions for them, I can suspend and let them talk. All right.
The end is fine with me.
Okay. Let's see here. So it's a large amount. So Madam Clerk, I want a roll call again, please.
Okay. Counselor Irvin?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Sanders?
Yes.
Counselor Churchwell?
Yes.
Counselor Kirkland?
Yes.
Mayor Roberts?
Yes. So we will move forward with those right there. We will get with our staff. We may pay that direct to the place. We may get with you on that particular aspect. Next, I believe, is another one from Mr. Walker, something about these fire districts.
Yeah. Tell you, these fire districts, they just need the money, I'll tell you what. But we are very appreciative of the services that both Palmerdale and Centerpoint fire departments provide for us, as well as Glenwood. They have a small part of our footprint, but they do provide some very good services to our people, and they help each other out quite often. So we did allocate funds in our budget this year, and I would make a motion that we distribute 50% of the funds allocated for Centerpoint and Palmerdale, and the full amount for Glenwood. Glenwood is $1,500, and I believe the amount for each department at 50% would be $50,000 for Palmerdale and Centerpoint.
Can I clarify just a
Absolutely.
second there before I take a second, just in case? So we budgeted $100,000 per department. Would your motion be for the full $100,000 per department, $50,000 to be paid now, and then some other dates for two other payments, perhaps?
Yes. We're halfway into our budget year, and for the last couple of years, we have not given to the departments, at least 18 months, I would say, and we're catching up. As I said, we appreciate the support you provide for us, and quite frankly, if you guys need to keep employees, I want the best of the best working on me. So, yes, I would recommend that it would be $50,000 to each department from their allocation, and with the remainder to be given out at future dates.
So could we do 25, say, on April 1st, somewhere along in there, or during the month of April, perhaps that would give a little bit of flexibility to our staff, and then the final check during the month of June.
Yeah, that would be acceptable.
That would give us a chance to see our 7, 8 month budget
Correct.
progress by that
Yep.
time.
Is there a second?
Second? Oh,
I think Glenda had it by nose, so.
All right, so I appreciate that. Like I say, I just knew it would help us streamline the process here a little bit for the staff. So any thoughts or comments on that from, you guys all good? Madam Clerk, can we go ahead and get a roll call on that one?
Counselor Irvin?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Sanders?
Yes.
Counselor Churchwell?
Yes.
Counselor Kirkland?
yes.
Mayor Roberts?
Yes. So that passes right there, so we'll be taking care of the fire districts. I want to thank the fire districts themselves for working with us. I know that Chief Horn, Chief Dolan, former Chief Howell had worked with us over the years talking about this. This was something that we had all put together, so this was quite a long time in the making, and so we appreciate all the efforts that all you guys put in there, those that are here now and those that have worked in the past. And Taylor, we appreciate your work, of course. Also now properly spending this grant money, so appreciate that. Next is a Mayor Sanders regarding a public safety request from the high school.
Yeah, the city has always supported public safety. Nothing is more valuable than the safety of our students and children, and having adequate protection, including fire at those events, is paramount. The school has asked us if we could help retroactively with some of the cost for the sporting events that occurred in the fall, so I move that we honor that request and contribute $7,200 to Pinson Valley High School to supplement or pay for public safety expenses, or assist with public safety expenses for the fall.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second on that. So yes, they have a contract with the Sheriff's Department, and this basically had come in, and they asked whether or not we might be able to assist with that. It's always important to have proper police deputy sheriffs in our case. Sometimes the police department may come over and work with us in a contract basis, or with the visiting team may actually have police officers with them. It's always very important to have that at the football games. We've been very blessed to have no incidents going on up there, and I do believe a lot of that is due to the police presence that we've had at the games. Folks tend to behave themselves when they know they're being watched. So I appreciate that. So all in favor of this assistance to the high school, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So we will work with the staff, making sure we get those funds directed to the right entity, probably the Board of Education, is who's going to get that. Next is department heads and public safety. So I'm going to ask, do any of our department heads, I don't know why we separate you out as public safety. That is a department head, so.
You let the chief go first.
Okay, well, yes, I'll move on to that right there. I just want to make sure the city staff got first crack at this bunch, so. All right, so next, so did y'all draw straws there, Chief Horn, or Chief Dolan's going to come up and talk about y'all's?
I see how that works.
For those that can't see the camera, the Chief Dolan deferred over to his right-hand man.
First of all, thank y'all for the grant. Well, that is, we need that like yesterday. Our computers, they're slow on the truck. They're crashing every day. And for our guys to be able to get in service, they can send straight to billing right away and get back in service. If they don't do that, they have to come back to the station. And as of like today, before 12 o'clock, we ran 15 calls. That put them behind if they had to come back to the station. You know, that's a lot of calls in an amount of time. So I brought a copy of the runs. I hope you received those. I got a couple things to go over. First of all, Deputy Chief Tenney, Al Tenney, he got the American Legion Award, Firefighter of the Year. He received that last month over in Trussville. He's also a battalion chief over there, so we're proud of him for that. We also are proud to, and I told y'all this was coming, we're very proud to announce that we're finally going to get to host a recruit school. The Alabama Fire College came and they passed us off, so we're going to start a recruit school on February the 17th. Chief and I have already talked. He has someone from Palmerdale that's going to enter that recruit school, along with Fultondale. I think they got maybe one. The match is going to be 15. We have 12 now that's already signed up for the recruit school, so we're going to host one right here in Pinson. So we're very proud of that. We've worked very hard, with your help also to get that done. So we appreciate y'all's help on that. Unfortunately, we lost a retiree, Jimmy Briggs. He retired here for over 25 years. He was also a chief of Davis Lake up in Springville, a fire district up there. He passed away at the age of 54, which is my age. He passed away. He had some diabetes issues. We had a service for him that we participated in. So we're very sorry that we lost him. So on the runs, as you see, I did highlight the 2 districts where you can see that. It's nothing more than just to call it out of the 35 agencies that they have there. We ended the year up at 10,184 calls for the year. And if you'll flip the page there on the second page, down at the bottom, this is some data that Chief Dolan put together on the, where we went, hospitals and all that. If you'll look at the bottom page, the 2 that are highlighted, those are ones that served the city of Pinson, which is at Station 2. Engine 2 ran 2,405 calls. The rescue trucks assigned to that station ran 2,080 calls. So that's coming from that station. If you flip the page one more time and look at the stations, how they're broke down, Station 2 was second, actually third in line there. They ran 2,262 calls out of that station. So that was our yearly total. There's some other data on there you can see that we kind of played around with. We discovered there that we can actually pick one of our employees, how many calls they run. So we put the top 10 on there, which was pretty neat on our first due program that we have. That's all I have. You have any questions?
I figured you'd be at the top of the list on this incident.
No, actually, my button was not clicked on. I found that out. Chief and I should be at the top, so.
Then you weren't there, that's all we can do.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I will, and I always like the city of Clay, when I go up there, one of the council members is on the board, Dr. Rush is, and I always kid her. So I know when school's back in, because we've only had 3 structure fires for the month.
Oh.
Okay? Once school is out, we have more structure fires.
Right.
So
They'll be
I always
cooking
tease her
soon.
about that.
Get ready.
Yeah. Thank y'all.
We appreciate, was there any questions here or anything? So-
Thank you, and congratulations on the school.
Let's just keep school
Thank you.
open year-round.
So,
Ma'am?
Let's just keep school open year-round.
That's right.
So when the computers, I don't know what the lead time is on getting those and all set up, any chance we might get a little demo one evening?
Yes, sir.
future meeting?
We can get our
Great.
EMS captain down here
Okay.
and our IT guy, and
Okay.
we'll show you how they work. Yes, sir.
I always think it's good for the council and the public to know a little bit more about what you guys are up to. Everybody thinks it's nothing more than hoses and a little bit of water, and it's a whole lot more than that. So we appreciate you sharing the background and a little inside baseball, inside firehouse type thing there. So thank you again, really sincerely, for all you guys do, and we really do appreciate it. Appreciate the interaction you guys between these three departments now, how well they work together. So
No, I think I've made the comment before, and I'll make it again publicly. This guy right here, we're working great together, along with Rocky at Glenwood. It's smooth as silk. So we're working very good together. We're helping each other. We don't bat eye. We don't think about it. I've told you all this before. It's not what the name is on the side of the truck. We're all sworn to duty to serve the citizens. So that's what we're going to do.
excellent.
public, I believe Glenwood has a tanker, correct?
Yes, sir, they do.
And I don't think either of y'all do, if I remember correctly. So that's one place that, unless you bought one.
No, sir.
Okay, so that's just an example of where they're in a remote location, the three departments become, oh, no, you can't buy a tanker, don't get that started. It's just one example of the cooperation. There's something that's a bit on the remote side.
Right.
Glenwood is right there with them.
Well, I'll tell you, on our radios, the way we are, Chief Rocky, he listens to everything that goes on, Palmerdale and with us. And he calls me on my cell phone anytime a woods fire's going out. I got a tanker, you ready? And he's already proactive, and I know he does that for Chief also, so they work very good, with us.
Excellent. Thank you again. Yep, thanks. Chief, you gonna come up?
You can't have a tanker either. That was just a conversation, okay? So-
All in due time, right?
That's right, all
Yeah,
in due
so-
time, all in due time.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for allocating the funds to us. I certainly hope that we'll be a good steward of those funds moving forward. And like Chief Horn has discussed, we are working together very well. We're really excited about this first recruit school. We've been sending our recruits all over the place, and now we get to send them very locally. And we get to take part in some of the instruction of it. So we're going to be out there teaching the classes right along with the rest of them. Really excited about that. So, but thank you very much. I appreciate the support that y'all have given us. And we look forward to working with y'all even more.
So how's it settling in now that you're the
Well, we're putting,
permanent chief and not the interim? So
Well,
how's that feeling?
no pun intended, there's small fires to put out every day. But we're getting those things handled, smoothing everything out. So we've hired 5 people in the last 60 days. We are 1 person away from being fully staffed. And we're going to get that guy back in hopefully about 2 weeks. I've already talked to him. So we're really close to having a good staffing. And we've got a few people to send to school, get them certified, things like that. But things are definitely looking up. And yeah, it's been good so far.
Chief Hancock and I are both in the New Guy Club, so I
Yeah.
can appreciate that. So
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Is there anyone else from the public who would like to speak tonight? There's a gentleman in the back. Please come forward and state your... Please give your name and address, even though we all know who you are, but...
James Biding, 6803 Markham Drive, Clay, with a trustful zip code. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you, Scott, for bringing that proposal forward. It would mean a lot for the veterans of the city to have a place to go, to be represented by the city. If you need my help, I'm here for you, anytime. Thank you, City Council, for listening to that, and let's get that thing on the roll. Second, today is Clintisha's birthday. I would like to wish her a very happy birthday and many more.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Appreciate that, James.
I was going to sing, but I wasn't going to put you on.
Appreciate that. Appreciate it.
James is, of course, a veteran himself, and so we appreciate his service and the comments on that. I know it's going to mean a lot to the veterans here in the community. So, we would like to say happy birthday.
Thank you.
And wish you many more. And so, did you bring any cake or anything that we might be able to partake of?
There is cake in the back, but I don't know if it's enough for everybody. But it might be.
Okay.
You can have some cake.
Well,
It's
if
extra.
you can get an invite, then it may happen. So we'll see on that. But thank you very much.
Thank you. And I will pass the birthday love along. I would like to wish Mayor Cochran a very happy, heavenly, belated birthday. His birthday was yesterday.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. So if there's no one else that needs to speak, anything else from the dais? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor of adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are hereby adjourned at 7:51 p.m.
That's impressive. I need you to sign, because I gotta get some things emailed.
That's really all I wanted. you know,
Talking about moving some
running,
merchandise.
running the move.
Yeah.
Could we go ahead, if we had checks on
Right.
that account? could we
You
go
heard me,
ahead
I'm
and use
running the moon goes, baby. I understand.
Just a call. I know you said you normally just.
Everything going well?
No, that, yeah, no, that
Good. Your phone's still messed up?
Let me, can I have this? You can.
I think, he said you normally, like, let's say, move over.
Yeah, they are, right,
Yeah, I knew we.
And then we're looking among